Hey y'all, we are out at Cumberland Mountain State Park today. We're filming a question and answer for you guys to answer some of the questions that we have gotten over the past year. Today is 1 year that we've been in Tennessee. 1 year! It's been the best year of my life so far. And so we have been compiling questions, wanted to do a recap, and we wanted to wait until it's been a whole year so we can actually accurately give you a recap of what we've experienced. Hopefully you guys find value in this. Let's roll the conversation.
Hey everyone, we are out here today on this beautiful day celebrating 1 year from getting to Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ashley, can you believe that it's already been 1 year since we got here?
I can't. This year has flown by so fast. We've had all of the tornado, COVID,
Tornado again,
more COVID, and then more COVID, and then election, and then Black Lives Matter. It's been a heck of a year.
It has, and it's quite a different day than the day that we actually got here. The day we got here, it was raining and it was cold, and today feels like, I don't know, maybe like a spring day. It's not too cold, and it's not hot at all.
I would say it's crispy.
Yeah, it's a little crisp.
a little crisp outside. But we thought we would film this video and do kind of a 1 year recap of what life has been like in Tennessee. We thought about doing a 6-month recap, but then didn't think that that was long enough to give you guys an accurate picture of what life is like in Tennessee. And now that we've been here a year, we've experienced all 4 seasons. We've experienced an entire year in Chattanooga. And so we want to share with those of you guys who are thinking about moving to Chattanooga or maybe visiting, and just our experience from our opinion. We chose a total of 9 different topics to talk about to you guys based on questions that we receive from our followers on YouTube, friends and family, and just people in general about making the move across California to Tennessee. So the way we're going to do it is the first half will be on my channel. The second half of the conversation will be on Mel's channel. So we will link each other's videos so you guys can finish the conversation and get your questions answered from both of our channels.
And if we didn't answer any of your questions, please feel free to comment your questions below in the comment section.
Nicely. Nice questions.
So COVID came around like we got shut down and everything. I want to say it was like March. The tornado in Nashville had just happened. But we weren't on like the strict lockdown yet when that tornado happened. We went out and helped clean up that Nashville for that tornado. And then so we got shut down in April. Or no, we got shut down in March. And then we had a tornado on Easter. We both have videos of the Easter tornado as well on our channel. So for that one, we were completely shut down. Like President Trump had shut down all 50 states. And we're in the middle of a tornado. We're out here trying to help everyone who was affected by the tornado. And why don't you go ahead and tell us what you thought about COVID and tornado relief, or COVID in general.
So I'll start by saying when we went to Nashville, so Nashville and Cookeville had their tornado, I think it was the first weekend of March, like the 2nd or 3rd. And that was right when COVID, like we were just learning that it even existed. And I remember thinking while we were helping in Nashville, how horrible would it be in the midst of this like sickness that no one really knows what's going on at this point to have a natural disaster. Like it's like a double whammy. And then lo and behold, like a little over a month later, the tornado came through. And I think I've said enough about that in my tornado vlog. It was crazy, right? And we'll talk more about that when we talk about the weather, which we will be doing. But the tornado was crazy in the middle of COVID. As far as COVID here in Tennessee, the response overall, it's better than California. We were locked down at first.
But that's because President Trump locked down our nation.
Right.
Not because our governor.
Right. Well, he worked with the governors and then everything was shut down because no one really knew what was going on at that point. But then once we opened up, we were fine for a couple of months. And then our mayor, Republican mayor, Jim Coppinger, not a big fan. He's a county mayor. So really quick, the way Tennessee works, I've never seen it like this before. We have a city mayor, which is Democrat Andy Burke. And then we have a Republican mayor for the county of Hamilton County, which is Jim Coppinger. So essentially when they make decisions, Coppinger, county mayor, overrides city mayor Andy Burke. Andy Burke's a Democrat, Coppinger's a Republican. No difference, in my opinion. So about July, he started our mask mandate. And originally it was supposed to go till September. And then in September, they extended it till October.
He kept extending it like by
every
a month.
Yeah. And now it's extended until January the 15th.
And supposedly wanting our opinions about the mask mandate, which people probably never read.
Yeah, they asked our opinion, so we sent our opinion, never got a response, and they extended the mask mandate. So there you have that.
And now we're in a mask mandate until January 15th.
Right? Yep. Well, January the 15th. So that's how it's been. It's a lot better than California. As soon as we could open up, we did. Some of the restaurants were still doing, and some of the ones downtown, because just to be honest, not to jab at anyone, but downtown is more liberal than like
Very
East Brainerd, where we live. And we'll get to that in a little bit in another topic. But it is more kind of locked down there. Like they're really strict about the mask in downtown. They're more social distance there with the tables. East Brainerd, not as much, but for a while there we were, but that's really starting to open up. So we're pretty much open for business. I don't know of any businesses that are still closed.
No, they're pretty much open. There are some small mom and pop shops that they're still closed. It's only takeout only, but I think it's because they don't have enough employees to actually be able to do the whole sanitizing of the tables and the chairs and the menus. So those ones are still, like I said, for takeout only. But for just that time that we were actually shut down to slow the spread for President Trump, everything has been open.
Yeah, like we've been open for business. It's a lot better than living in California. I'm so grateful that we left California when we did.
Right, and I'm also grateful because I finished school December 5th, and then we left December 8th. And then like everything after the new year at the school that I'm going to, because I had friends still in the program, and then everything just went crazy there for them. So I'm very grateful that, one, I was done with school when COVID hit, and two, we were not in California when COVID hit, because I think our response to COVID would have been a lot different as far as it would have been hard to survive on the money that we were making out in California because of the price of everything out there.
Okay, so moving to Chattanooga, another question that we get are the pros and cons, like living in Chattanooga. So what would you say are your pros and cons of living here, I guess versus California, or just pros and cons in general?
So something that I noticed right off the bat that's been a benefit about living in Chattanooga is the prices of like our car registrations. I had to pay my car registration before moving to Tennessee, and it was almost $300. Out here, I just renewed my registration, and it was a whopping $29 plus a $9 emissions test fee. So I'm already saving money right there. Ching! And who doesn't like to save money? So a con of Chattanooga is I didn't realize how blue the city was gonna be. I was thinking that the South in general is more conservative, but downtown Chattanooga is very liberal, and I guess that's something that everyone is seeing in like bigger cities throughout all the states where there's like universities. We have these instructors brainwashing our students. So downtown Chattanooga, very blue. Where we're at, which is East Brainerd area, it's more conservative, but yeah, I wasn't expecting downtown Chattanooga to be as liberal as it's turned out to be. What's something that you've noticed that's beneficial about moving out here?
My favorite thing about living in Tennessee and Chattanooga in general is just how easy life is here, and I guess quality of life goes along with that. California, everything you do is difficult because it's crowded. Everywhere you go is crowded. Everywhere is expensive. You have to fight for parking everywhere. People are miserable because they're in traffic all day. People are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. And that's not the case here. Like, yeah, wages are lower here than California, but cost of living overall is lower here in Tennessee. But everything's so easy. You can drive anywhere you want. There's generally no traffic unless there's a bad accident. Like coming here today, there was no traffic. It's almost 2 hours from Chattanooga. There's no traffic whatsoever. Beautiful country roads. Obviously, this place is not crowded. We easily find parking everywhere we go. So we're able to actually get out and enjoy doing more because it's enjoyable to do stuff. Like it's not overcrowded here. Like it's just a relaxed, chill way of life. So that would be my number one pro about the move to Tennessee and Chattanooga in general. So my con about Chattanooga specifically, I would say one thing I've noticed as far as renting here, I feel like, and again, we found a place pretty easily, so we haven't had to search for rentals too much, but from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, it seems like it's either like there are some bad parts of town, so the cheaper rents you're going to probably find that are not so nice. Downtown Chattanooga has some cute townhomes and stuff, but some of the rent prices is pretty comparable to like California rent. Like maybe still a little bit less expensive for what you actually get and living in downtown, but it's still pretty pricey down there. And then I don't know, I feel like there's not really a lot of middle listings. That's just me. I haven't done too much searching, so maybe you guys that are searching have seen something different. I kind of feel like it's either not nice or too expensive.
Right.
But its overall cost of living is still cheaper than California. But that's just something that I have noticed as far as renting and to Chattanooga specifically.
And with that, I think a lot of it too is just, even because I've been reading with like real estate and stuff, I think there's a lot of people leaving California and coming to places like Chattanooga and other cities and states that it's making the market go higher. And then there's less rentals available. So if you're renting a house and you know that there's not much available, you're going to, increase
supply and demand.
Right. You're going to increase the rent price. But yeah, I'm with you. It's either you got like the really low
Section 8 style
stuff, or you got like the nicer stuff that is like people are like, oh my God, it's like living in California. So you get a mixture.
I'm not in a position where I want to buy a house yet, but I will say if you're looking to buy, it seems like for sure the houses are way cheaper out here than California for what you get. Like, and that's still the case. Like we had a friend move here from California who sold his condo in West Hollywood and bought a three bedroom, 2-story house for like half of what he sold his condo for in West Hollywood. So it's definitely, if you're planning on buying, if you're renting temporarily and then planning on buying, absolutely. Another thing I will say about Chattanooga specifically, and this is just personal opinion, has nothing to do anti the city. I prefer, now that I've gotten out of California and I think through all the COVID stuff that's happened, I really want to live more rural. So whenever I move again, I think I want to live even more out of the city. Where we're in now, East Brainerd is kind of like a Temecula, Marietta area, not as crowded. So it has everything you need, but just for my personal preference, like I want land. I want to live on an old country road where I can have people over, not have the neighbors breathing down my neck, that sort of thing. So that's just personal preference. That's not really a con. But when I move again, it will be somewhere more rural because I don't really want to live in the suburbs even. Like I don't mind a little bit of a drive to have to go into the suburbs.
Moving to a new place, we've been out exploring so many different places. We've gone to different states. We've gone to different national parks, state parks. What would you say is some of your favorite places that are either in Chattanooga or around?
You guys, living near, I already know my answer. Living near the Smokies is amazing. I'd been to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and the Smokies before, as a little kid and with my family and stuff growing up. But like it's about to get to Gatlinburg, so almost like 2.5 hours from Chattanooga. We go all the time. I'm so obsessed with that place. It is absolutely gorgeous. Cades Cove in the Smokies. It's like an 11-mile loop where you drive around and you look for wildlife. They have bears, and on the other side of the Smokies by North Carolina is elk. There's deer out there. We've seen a fox out there. We just went to Cades Cove a few days ago. We saw 4 bears and 5 deer in one day, and I'm obsessed with looking for wildlife. It's so much fun. Like the Smokies has absolutely become my favorite place on earth. Like just being there, and like we went camping there for my birthday. There's a vlog you can look on my channel for it. We went camping out there. Absolute hands down, it's so amazing living close to the Smokies. Absolutely, it's so gorgeous. Like for the outdoor lover in me, I feel like so happy and like I'm in heaven every single time we go there.
And that 2.5-hour drive isn't bad because it's beautiful the entire way there.
And there's no traffic.
Unless, again, there's an accident. But for the most part, it's just us, some rest in peace, dead deer on the sides of the road. But yeah, it's a beautiful drive there. So yeah, Smokies is definitely one of my favorite places as well.
Okay, so now that you guys have seen how much I absolutely am obsessed with the Smokies, what's your favorite spot?
One of my favorite places to go is Fall Creek Falls, which is about, like an hour and a half away from us. It's a beautiful state park. It's free. All the state parks in Tennessee have free entrance. And Fall Creek Falls, that was actually the very first place we went camping. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. There's, I want to say, at least like 5 different waterfalls that you can hike to. And that place is just gorgeous all year round. And the park is super clean. And if you're gonna camp there, it's an awesome place to camp because the campsites are clean and well kept. The restrooms, OMG, they smell like bleach, which can be a little bit overwhelming if you're in there long enough, like when you're taking a shower and stuff. But that lets you know it's clean, and it is super warm in there. So yeah, Fall Creek Falls is definitely one of my favorite places to go. A lot of our favorite places around here are just places that are outdoors, because we like hiking, and for the most part it's not crowded. Nope. We've gone to places on holidays and it's not like overbearing. Yeah, there's a lot more people on holidays or weekends, but nothing compared to California. Like California, people would have to like park like miles away and walk into like the park. But out here it's way different. Fall Creek Falls definitely has my heart. I don't even know if
it's a great place.
We also get asked like, oh hey, how's the crime rate? I googled Chattanooga, and I see that the crime rates are sky high. Are there places that are dangerous and stuff like that? So what do you have to say?
Yes, I get asked that question a whole lot, right up there with weather and the humidity. So I personally have never checked the Chattanooga crime rate. Maybe that's something I should have done before moving here. I will say at the onset of this conversation that I've never once felt unsafe in Tennessee or any of the surrounding areas where we travel. I do believe, though, a lot of people have said the crime rate is higher. My guess, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that there's less people here than California. So maybe it's per capita and it looks like more crime because there's less people. The only crimes I ever hear about, there have been a couple shootings in the bad area of town. That's going to be anywhere you go. I do see like car broken into every now and then in some areas of town. Maybe a drug arrest, something like that. I never hear of any super violent, horrible things happening here. And I feel way more safe in Tennessee than I ever did in California. In California, you guys know that live there. There was like a high-speed chase on the TV every day. Yeah. Literally every day in Southern California, right? Because you're right there by Mexico, so you have that whole issue. People come through Southern California to flee to Mexico if they're criminals or whatever. Yes, crime happens everywhere, but I've personally never witnessed, I don't read about all these horrible crimes happening. And there are bad areas of town, yes, that I probably wouldn't go by myself at night. Some areas closer to downtown, but I don't think it's something, honestly, to worry about because we've been here a year and we're still alive. I haven't had any issues. And I don't hear it happens, but I think it's mostly drugs and look at what the actual crime is and see. But I've never felt unsafe here. I felt way more unsafe in California.
But also, with that being said, the police out here can actually do their jobs. Their hands aren't tied. They can actually go and arrest somebody and that person isn't going to come out in a few hours. Like in California. A lot of cops, they're not even arresting people because it's a bunch of paperwork that they have to do for that person just to, go get fingerprinted and then they're right back out because, that's how the governor out there has their system. So I think out here with, crime rates being up is probably because people don't get away with stuff out here like they did back there.
Well, and too, in California, they emptied a lot of the prisons.
Well, yeah, they emptied a lot of the due to COVID. That's for another episode. That can be a whole episode,
but that has to do with crime. That brings criminals into the city, and that's not happening out here in Tennessee.
Right. So, prisoners out there in California are being released because of COVID. So now with that being said, now there's more people out and about being able to, spread COVID instead of just staying locked up in their little cell with a mask on because, masks work.
So those are the main topics that we get asked most of the time on our YouTube channel. If you guys have any more questions, now I'm not going to get too specific. Like, I'm not going to go do tours of an apartment for you or anything like that. But just general questions about living in Tennessee. We don't know about schools because we don't have kids. I go to school. I go to Chattanooga State University, and I absolutely love it. I feel like the teachers here care way more about our progress than they ever did in California. I'm taking graphic design. Just finished my semester, actually. I really enjoy it. And there's less kids here because it's not as crowded as California schools. So I do really enjoy that school. As far as kids, K through 12, no idea. We haven't really had to look for jobs because we're kind of doing our own thing. I'm starting my own mobile notary company, and we have some different things going that we're doing on the side. So job market, no idea. Schools, no idea. So those topics we can't be too helpful in. Hoag's channel is probably good if you have kids and you want to move to Tennessee.
To Knoxville area.
He has school age young ladies. So, but if you have any other questions and you want us to do general topics, down below, leave us your questions and we'll be happy to answer them for you. In closing, do you have any final thoughts? Like maybe something that's not the main topics that we talked about that you wanted to just, something interesting about Tennessee that you maybe didn't know when you moved here, or just something interesting about life in general here?
I just want to reiterate, life out here in Tennessee is a lot more stress free, because you're not having to deal with all the traffic. You're not having to deal with all the rude people, the gas prices. I think the most I've seen gas prices out here is $1.99, which is not close to California. But I love it out here. And yeah, there's times where it's like I wish my family were closer, but again, they're just a plane ride away. And just the freedom of being out here. We've been out here for a few hours and it's just peaceful.
There's no one around.
There's no one around us. And
just us.
Right. And it's just a different lifestyle. It's a lot slower pace. However, the drivers out here like to tailgate for some reason.
But why is that though?
And I think that's because our freeways or our highways is like 2 lanes.
And it's like 55 miles an hour.
And it's 55 miles an hour. So I still have my California, foot pedal driver. So I'm still like in like 75, 80. But yeah, drivers out here do like to tailgate. And I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. Ashley has picked up on the tailgating, that's for sure. But yeah, if anyone is still on the fence, like, hey, should I leave California to any state? You know what? Just do it. Because if it comes out to like, hey, I really don't like it where I chose, you could either 1, go back, which you probably won't want to go back, or 2, you can go and find somewhere else that you think you'd like more than the city that you picked. So just do it. Life is short. Get out and make a better life for yourself, for your family, and you won't regret it.
That's all that we have for you guys today. We actually, I really enjoyed doing this, especially because there's like we're like max social distancing right now. There's like no one. I think we're the only ones at this park, but we've enjoyed talking with you guys and doing this so much. If you guys have any more questions that you want us to address, please let us know and we can do another one of these. We love filming this stuff, and now that I'm out of school, we can film more. That's my goal, is to record more podcast episodes and film more. So thank you guys so much for watching both of our channels, the conversation on both of our channels. We love you guys and we appreciate each and every one of you, even the people that leave us mean comments. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us during that conversation. I actually had so much fun filming that. I feel like we should do these conversations. Maybe we should start a new series of like Coffee with Ashley and Mel. That was a lot of fun. I had fun answering y'all's questions, especially out in this beautiful scenery with there's little people right there. I see them walking on the trail behind me with absolutely no one around. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even those of you who leave me mean comments, I still love you. And you know why? Because every comment helps my YouTube algorithm. So so I get bumped up to the top and it shows activity on my channel, and my channel gets shown to more people. So thank you so much for helping me out with your mean comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Did it make it crooked? Yes, it did make it crooked. Hey y'all, we are out at Cumberland Mountain State Park today. We're filming a question and answer for you guys to answer some of the questions that we have gotten over the past year. Today is 1 year that we've been in Tennessee. 1 year! It's been the best year of my life so far. And so we have been compiling questions, wanted to do a recap, and we wanted to wait until it's been a whole year so we can actually accurately give you a recap of what we've experienced. So you're going to see half of the conversation here on my channel. Half of it will be on Mel's channel. I'll link her channel below. Hopefully you guys find value in this. And hopefully you guys find value in this. Let's roll the conversation. Okay?
Yeah.
And then my outro. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us during that conversation. I actually had so much fun filming that. I feel like we should do these conversations. Maybe we should start a new series of like coffee with Ashley and Mel. That was a lot of fun. I had fun answering y'all's questions, especially out in this beautiful scenery with well, there's little people right there. I see them walking on the trail behind me with absolutely no one around. If you have any questions, leave them below that I didn't answer. I will tell you right now, I'm not going to get in depth into this stuff, as far as I'm not going to go search for apartments for you. I'm not going to do things like go search for schools for your kids or anything like that. But general questions that we did not cover here, please let me know below. I'd love to do another question and answer for you guys, and that means I get to come hang out at a beautiful place like this. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Even those of you who leave me mean comments, I still love you. And you know why? Because every comment helps my YouTube algorithm, so I get bumped up to the top and it shows activity on my channel, and my channel gets shown to more people. So thank you so much for helping me out with your mean comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.